Welcome to Video Free Skaro. Well, you know who I am. In this episode, some jackanapes interviews Eric Fell, the man behind the critical hit show, which combines comedy and Dungeons and Dragons? What is wrong with you people? But first, the news. Gallifrey, the largest Doctor Who convention in North America, has announced new guests. Writer Phil Ford, Planet of the Ood scribe Keith Temple, and Steve Roberts, Ed Stradling, and Dan Hall, who all work on the DVD range, will be in attendance. What in the hell is a DVD? In other news, Gallifrey will also cap membership at 3,200 people, so make sure to get a membership, you bloody nerds! And finally, new Pyramids of Mars action figures are coming out on September 18th. Oh, sentient life, Kith Sutek. Now, where was I? Oh yes, Dungeons and Dragons. Go on then!
I'm here with Eric Fell, star of Skaromantic comedy on Blue Meanie. But besides that, he does a little thing called the Critical Hit Show. Eric, what is the Critical Hit Show?
The Critical Hit Show is a live improvised comedy show based on fantasy role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons, where we have some of Vancouver's finest comedians, performing improvised comedy live in sort of a fantasy setting, and I narrate, and I'm like the dungeon master. I actually bring up audience members to play the monsters and roll dice and all that stuff.
You hit him so hard, he turns into a fine mist.
About a year and a half ago, I picked up a D&D book, and I'm flipping through, and I was like, wait a minute, this is improv, because that's my job. I'm a professional improviser. I work with the Vancouver Theatre Sports League and other places. And I just looked at it and this is just a set of rules that I could throw an improv show in. And when the opportunity presented itself here at the Rio, I jumped at the chance and got my dream cast of amazingly hilarious people. Ian Boothby, who plays Benoit the Anointed, is actually an Eisner Award-winning comic book writer. He writes The Simpsons comics, and he's actually written a Flash story for DC Comics. So, I would definitely throw him on the geeky side of things. Alan Morrison is the coolest guy I've ever met. I don't think there's anything geeky about him. Joanna, of course, is Edda, the same character from her web series Standard Action. Sean Stewart plays D&D occasionally with me. We actually occasionally do play D&D. And, of course, Lauren McGibbon is... I still don't know if she knows how to play. It's really just improv in your head. It's really just playing make-believe. And I figured if you got enough talented, brilliant people together playing make-believe, the funny would happen. And instead of everybody sitting around a chair, we've got people up and moving and swinging, foam swords around and stuff. And it's really great fun.
Once again, Edda explodes her enemy.
A big part of playing D&D, of course, is involving everybody, right? It's not an exclusionary game. Anybody who sits at the table, is a character. And I wanted to make it interesting and entertaining for the audience. And how would I do that? Well, is to make them the monsters that you fight. So they come up on stage, they're given foam swords. I ask them who they want to attack and stuff. And I always want to involve the audience in a really interactive way in the climax. So every climax we've done has always been very interactive like that. So the audience winds up playing roles. In this latest show, they were a bunch of gnomes that were enslaved by a shark god with an unfortunate hat.
Is there anything I'm not asking about this show and your other various pursuits that you think should be known?
I am 6'5".
Very good. Thank you and good day.
Well, still here, are you? You've got stamina, I'll give you that. I suppose by this point you might as well subscribe, leave comments, and if you like the t-shirt this buffoon is wearing, go to damask.ca. Now get out of my sight!